Hi everyone, I'm Coco Em from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm a DJ, a producer, and a filmmaker, and I'm super pleased to accept this invite from Sound and Fiction Festival in Bahrain. Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you, New Zealand and Ableton. So a bit about me. I've been DJing for about 5 years now, since 2016, 2015, 2016. And I'm looking to branch further into music production. And my angle of using the DAW Ableton is a bit skewed towards live performances. So today I will be showing you my personal approach to Ableton. For those of you who would like to learn a lot more about it, get a lot more in-depth information, I would suggest that you visit coursera.org. They have an amazing introduction to Ableton Live course, which is free of charge. They have several videos that break down the different functionalities, the different buttons, what they do, how to set up your own live, interface and use all of the different things that Ableton has to offer. So that's coursera.org, this website. I will package all these links and distribute them for you guys to have a look later. I would also suggest that you visit the ableton.com website and try to use the Ableton DAW for free for 3 months before you make your decision on what DAW is good for you. I've used several DAWs such as Fruity Loops, I've used Reason, I've used a bit of Logic but not so much, and I feel like I like that Ableton is as complicated as it is because it means that there's a lot more possibility. And it's very intriguing to see how different people approach it and curate their own sort of user template, if you may. So yeah, so go to the website ableton.com. You can download it for both Mac and Windows, and just figure out all of the minimum requirements that your system will need to handle this software. So you can find me on SoundCloud. I have several DJ sets up there, as well as a few tracks that I worked on previously when I first laid my hands on Ableton. So I will play some of these towards the end of the course. I'm on SoundCloud as Coco Em. I'm also on YouTube. I just started a brand new page. It's still Coco Em, so I have a DJ set up there, and I will be uploading more content on my YouTube. I am on Instagram as Coco Emma. That's coco.emma with a H, and I just started a small network called SimSima 254. 254 is the country code for Kenya. So this network is mostly to kind of facilitate the training for music production within the country, giving priority to women, femme identifying people from marginalized communities, of queer community, non-binary people. And it's mostly because there is still such a huge gap in this music industry. I mean, DJing aside, the women are making strides in the DJing community, and we're seeing a lot more femme DJs on big lineups. However, in the music production scene, there's still a lot of work we need to do. So therefore, I'm trying to bring together artists, vocalists, people who make beats. If you make beats, if you're a vocalist strictly, join the network, and I will be uploading information on where you can get specific trainings. Currently I'm focusing a lot more on Ableton, because that's what I'm currently using. I welcome everybody to just check it out and connect with the women who are within this network, within Nairobi, Kenya. Super talented women. I love y'all so much. And I would like to also thank the Santuri Network, Santuri East Africa, and the Music in Africa Network for helping us to push the first music production workshops, which we concluded last week on Friday. Yes, so let's get into Ableton. So off the bat, when you install Ableton and you open it, it does not look like this. This is a project I have just opened up just to show you what I am, a bit of what I am working on currently. And there's several layers of things here. I'm sure it's pretty confusing if this is your first interaction with the software. So I'll play this. It's a short clip to the end, and then I will open up a brand new template where I can show you step by step, like my process of creating tunes and beats. So let's listen to this. Un momento. Great, so that's a bit of a project that I'm working on currently. That's like the ending bit. As you can see, there's also like a lot of like random red lines and things here. That's automated levels of sound. Not going to get into that today, but for those who probably have interacted with Ableton before, you do know that you can alter the ways different clips interact with each other, sort of like a jigsaw puzzle, so that if one piece is high over here, you can dip the next one so that the waves don't clash and stuff. Also, forgive the way I speak, you know, the terms that I use, because I am still new to this software and I'm still familiarizing myself with the actual specific names of all of the different buttons and spaces and squares. For those of you who are like me, you can always hover over a piece of music, a different section of Ableton, and look to the bottom left corner, which is the info view. So it gives you a brief description of this entire interface, which is a very cool thing to have in a software that you're trying to learn, and then that is like, as you know, dance as Ableton is. So for example, if I don't know what this top space is, as you can see, when I hover my mouse over the top bar, stuff at the bottom corner of the screen is just flashing by. So for example, this is a stop button. It says click to stop playback. This is arrangement record button, and this is basically to record your arrangements in this specific space. So I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, so let me just close this particular, let me save it first. I will just open a new live set. There we go. So when you install Ableton and you open it for the first time, this is probably what you will see on your screen. So this is your they call it the session view. So your session view, like a producer I heard speaking about this explained it to be like sort of your canvas where you make your painting. So this is the canvas where you present all the pieces that will make your music. The session view is mostly used for live DJing performances or live, music performances where you want to trigger different sections of your music at specific times depending on what it is that you're presenting. So this is the session view. We're going to switch to another view, which is the arrangement view. And how you do that, you go to the right hand corner. As you can see, there's some lines here. There's like 3 lines going across, 3 lines going down. So this 3 lines going down is for session. You click here, 3 lines going across. This is your arrangement view. So here, as the name suggests, this is where you arrange your piece of music. So once you have the little pieces that you need, you can record new pieces of music here live by linking different instruments, or you can create MIDI clips. So to create MIDI clips, that's music digital wait 1 second. MIDI stands for what in God's name? Well, we'll find out. Okay. So, to create a MIDI clip, select some bars, right click. Come on. Select some bars. Right click. Insert MIDI clips. All right, let's do that one more time. So you're in your arrangement view. You want to create some MIDI clips. Select a few bars, right click, insert MIDI clips. So you have different colors for different clips. You can also change them if you want. If you don't like purple, right click this and make it yellow. So you have the first MIDI clip is color yellow, second MIDI clip is blue. The third and fourth are not MIDI clips. These are audio clips. If you don't have any audio to insert, you really don't need these clips. If you do have audio, you can bring it up into this space over here and listen through it. Great. So you're not limited to just 1, 2, 3, 4 clips of sound. You can insert as many clips. You can insert an audio track. You can insert a MIDI track. You can insert another MIDI track and another one and another one. Depending on how intricate and layered your sound of music is, your piece of music is, you can insert as many clips here as possible, as many tracks as possible. So what do these tracks do exactly? So what you use these tracks for is to place a piece of sound, a sound, and where you get your sounds is this left space with all the writings here. You have your sounds, your drums, your instruments, audio effects, blah, blah, blah. This is your library. This whole space here is your library. And Ableton comes preset with a bunch of different sounds. If you can hear that, it is because I have this light blue icon highlighted. If I were to deselect it, you would not be able to hear any of these different sounds. So if you click on the sound and you cannot hear anything, select this blue icon and you will hear different sounds. So your job is to pick something that you like and then bring it into a clip. So these are already pre-recorded. you have the option to record your own sounds, but we won't get into that today. Great. So as I mentioned earlier, that this is generally how your standard Ableton course will explain the user interface. I mean, with proper terminology, with the proper English. But like, I use the session view more than I use the arrangement view, and I still manage to come up with a full piece of music. So today I'm going to explain how I do this. So I'll come into a new project now because I created a bunch of like unnecessary tracks. Don't say that. So great, we have a new project. We have 2 MIDI tracks and 2 audio tracks. I will explain how to create music today without any audio because it's your first session. I will insert 2 more MIDI tracks, and I will label these according to what it is I want to create today. So today I want to create something super simple, just a beat. I'm going to have a kick, a bass, a hi-hat, a snare, and a melody. So once you create your different tracks, let me just repeat that. You right-click here, insert. Right-click, insert. You insert as many tracks as you want. You can rename them so that it's easier to find what it is that you're working with by right-clicking the name up here and hitting rename. So the first one I'm going to call a kick. I usually start my tracks with a kick. I usually have an idea in my head of what I want to create, a melody for example, but I always like to start with the kick, which is going to change drastically from what I begin with. So I'll have my kick. I will be creating something with some hi-hats. I need a snare in there. I'm going to repeat again. This is not how the Coursera will show you how to create music, so do not by any means feel that this is what you're supposed to do with Ableton. This is just what I do with Ableton currently, because I'm still learning. Don't punch me, Ableton. Doing my own things here. So we have a kick, we have hi-hats, we have a snare, we will have like a melody and a bass. For sure we're going to have a bass. Great. So I have my different tracks ready, but if I hit play, there's no sound. You can't hear anything. There's absolutely no sound if you hit play right now, because nothing has been assigned to these different tracks. There's no sounds that have been assigned to these different tracks. And also, I cannot hear any guiding metronome that will help me create the sound. So if you want to hear your metronome, you hover over this 2 circles, you click it. When it turns yellow, you can hear your metronome. 2, 3, 4. It's in 4/4 time. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to change the time, I click here, and I can change that to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I want to change that to 3, 4 time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So for the sake of this class, I am going to use 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I want to change the speed, I feel like it's too fast or too slow, I hover over this number. It's on the top bar. The top bar usually changes your, or has functions that have to do with your timing and the metronome. So I can click the number I'm dragging downwards to make it slower. Now it's at 98. Boom, 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 boom. That's usually like your hip hop beats range 95 to 98. That's like also hip hop. Nowadays, you have hip hop at 140. This is 135, 145. However, it's like double times. So it's like boom, 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 boom. To stop play, hit stop. If you don't want to hear the tick tock, 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 click on the metronome and you won't hear it anymore, but it will still be in time. But I would highly suggest when you're creating your first, like your kicks, your hi-hats, always have it on so that you can stay in time. All right, so we're going to look for samples that we like. So I go on to the library section and I highlight samples. And I'd like to assign a kick to my first track, my first MIDI track. So I'll type in the words kick. And we've got a bunch of kicks here. Boom. Boom. That's heavy. I want something that sounds a bit like digital, like that, like some hip hop beat. So I like that. So when you select them, you will hear the different sounds. You can scroll up and down with your arrows and then get to the one you like. If you select and you don't hear anything, that means your sound, Ableton, what do we call this? A preview tab. Your preview tab is not activated. So ensure that this little headphones icon is blue. If it's not on, you see when I click now, I cannot hear anything, so I don't know what the sounds sound like, and therefore I don't know what to assign. So make sure you select the headphones icon, it turns blue, and now you can hear what's on the different, what the different samples sound like. So once I have my sample ready, I like this one. I want to assign it to this first track. It's the kick track. I select a clip slot, and as you can see, it still says no clip selected. I'm like, but I just selected it. So I have to double click it, double click the clip slot, and then all of a sudden you have this piano roll down here. What I'm doing, I'm just scrolling, I'm not scrolling, I'm holding and dragging the screen up. When you go to the different like dividers of this session view, sometimes you'll see like a cross icon appear. When you see the cross icon appear, click, hold, and drag it to the side of which you want to extend your screen. So if I want to see more of my different tracks, I can extend it to the left, or if I want to see the samples clear, extend it to the right. You can play around with the interface and see what suits you. So we have our first clip slot selected. And another thing is, because we're going to be sort of painting music onto this clip slot, we want to make sure that Ableton knows which clip slot to record to, or to grab sound from. So you can see this red circle with a square inside it. Ableton calls it an arm recording. It's an arm recording. So no, you've armed your recording basically. When you click on the circle square thingy and it turns red, it means you've armed that particular track for recording. So whenever you record something, Ableton will send the vibes to that particular track. So be careful which track you select. Make sure it's the one you want to record to. Select the clip that you're looking to record music to. You'll be hearing music there. And we're going to now drag this sample onto this particular clip slot. How do we do that? And now I'm ready to drop an instrument or a sample here. So take my sample, drag it down, and there we have it. So a sample is here. If I were to go to the piano roll, just double click your clip slot, it brings you back to the piano roll. And now I want to start recording some stuff or drawing in some stuff. I take the pencil, the draw mode pencil tool, click on it, it becomes yellow. Anything that's highlighted becomes yellow. Your piano roll, it becomes yellow. Okay, so I can draw random pieces of music in there, and then I still can't hear it, and go. Pretty basic. I want to add some more stuff. To delete, just click on top of the of the piece. Like that. Boom. All right, so we have a kick pattern going on over here. We're gonna go ahead and introduce some snares for this kick pattern. So I'm gonna slide this down. Obviously, this music is going to change, right? It's like you're doing one thing, you have one idea, but like Ableton is like, try this, how about this, why not this? And then you end up with like some Mozart piece where you're like, no, I wanted to make hip hop, now I'm making Mozart, no. But it just gives you so much to work on, so much to explore. So in the first few days, if you are creating something and then it switches and becomes something else, don't worry, just keep going with it, keep creating different pieces of music, and then you can select what you like, and then when you get better and better, you become it becomes easier to identify exactly what you want. So you can go in and be like, I want to today I'm creating a hip-hop track, I want this kick, I like this hi-hats. You can save presets, all of those things. Great. I am. So as you can see, I've been going along this project and I've not been saving. If I lose my project now, I don't know what will happen. So I'll just hit file, save live set as. We can call this intro workshop Bahrain. Now you can select where to save it. I'll just throw it on the desktop for now, and there we go, it's saved. Always save your stuff. Great. So let's get some snares in there, and I'm going to follow the same procedure. I'll go to my library on the left hand corner, type, and make sure samples is selected just for my peace of mind. Type some snares. So it also helps to have your piece of music playing while you're selecting another instrument, because then you can hear real time what that new sample would sound like if you threw it onto the project. So I'm just gonna play this. Okay. Too hard. Acoustic. I like that. Snare, blues, break, 2.5. Great. So where am I going to assign my snare? To my snare channel. It's my snare track. So highlight a clip, no clip selected, double click that clip. Now it's selected. Make sure, because I'm going to record here, right now I'm going to draw here, I highlight, or I arm this space for recording. So I click on this circle square, and then it turns red. And then now, once I do that, I need to drag this sample onto this track. So I hit the word samples at the bottom right corner. You just hit the channel name, snare. Now you can drop the instrument sample over here. Boom, it's inside. Let's see if I can hear it. Oh, double click here so that I can go back and see my piano roll. And if you want to actually hear it before you start drawing, you can click on the piano roll. Right now you can't hear anything because my little blue, I can remember this, any headphones icon you see, it's a tiny headphone in a circle. If you see that and it's not blue, it means you cannot hear anything. So now I click on it now. Now I can hear that very clearly. Great. Great. So let's play the track. I like it to come 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, so that I can hear everything all the way together. Let me just explain the columns going down and the rows going across leading to the master channel. So on your extreme right you have a master channel. Master channel has different numbers. So first master track, second master track, third master track. So when you activate or you play this first master track, it plays everything that's on this row, on this first row. If you have kicks, hi-hats, snares, melodies, if you have a hissing sound, a clap sound on this first row, and you hit the first play button, it's going to play everything that's on that channel, I mean on that row. So to stop that, you just hit the stop button down there. Everything stops. To stop even the metronome pause, just hit spacebar. Stop hearing everything. So again, I play the first master track and I hear everything. I pause it, I stop hearing everything. So for us to be able to launch this easier, because like if you're doing a live performance and you're like on the mic and I'm just gonna play for you guys and then you're just out here like on the mouse pad like trying to get the first master track and then you click and then maybe you miss the time. It's very easy to like get off time or to lose like your flow when you're using a mouse pad to launch different tracks on time. So what people will do is either use a piece of hardware, a MIDI controller push, or map everything on their screen to their keyboard, which is what I've been doing. So today I will show you how to map your master track so that you can launch it with your keypad. So let's go up here to key. When you hit key, everything turns orange. And that means all of these functionalities can be mapped to a specific number on your keypad. And you can even draw this out and be like, Q will switch on and off my metronome. F will start playing my whole project. G will stop my project, and so on and so forth. So we hit key, and now we can map this whole screen. So I will go ahead and map the first master track. I hit it and it becomes a lighter color, and I can assign that track to number 1. It's a lot easier that way. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, 5 to 5. And once you're done mapping whatever it is you want to map on the rest of the screen, we won't get to that today, I hit key and everything returns to its normal color. So now if I want to play the first master track, I should be able to hear it when I hit the number 1 because I've assigned number 1 to that track. So let's go. Great, it's working. Let us now go to the hi-hats. So with the hi-hats, I'm going to show you a different way of drawing out your pattern. Instead of using the pencil tool, I can use my keyboard. Did you hear that? You can hear that, right? The reason I can hear that is because you can use your keypad as a MIDI controller. That's pretty cool. So if I hit any number, letters between A and C on this side. So you hear different things, and that makes playing a lot easier if you're used to having some hands-on equipment to play with, and if you do not have a MIDI controller. So for the hi-hat, go into the clip slot, no clip selected, double click it. Let's go to my library. Let's look for a hi-hat that we like. I like that one. Sounds good. So hi-hat 808, close. So I want to drag it down to this clip slot. So I select the slot. Bruh. So I select the slot and then I drop it in there. And now, anytime I hit, oops, you see that? I can't hear it because I've not armed the correct track. So arm the correct track. That's your circle square situation. Now I can hear it. I can hear that. So I want, for this particular beat, I'd like to have that kind of staccato, like I can't even say it fast enough. Like that. So like I will click on the slot, clip slot. I'll draw one. So way to make it, you know, that staccato like vibe is to draw every single square for one bar and then loop that bar. So let me just deselect those. To deselect or to delete, you just draw over the same clip again. Disarm the pencil tool, select all of those and hit Command D. Command D just duplicates all of these. So if I like had like an 8 bar loop, I select all these. I just Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Amen. And now I want to hear what I have playing on my first track. So I hit number 1 and it plays the whole. Nice one. Okay, great. Another way to create that sound that I discovered. Select all, delete. Let's reduce that to 1. I like working with 1 bar when I'm starting out my sessions. It's just nice and compact. So most of the little clips will have either 1 bar or 2 bars max, and then I loop them. So how do you actually, let me show you how to loop something. As you can see in this section, it's called transpose. So you can change like the key, the length of the bar, the number of little, you know, segments you have inside that clip on the piano roll. So there's a button here that says loop. If I click on it, this whole section will not loop. So let's test this. Let's take our pencil tool, draw the. Yep, I'm tired of drawing, so select them and Command D, Command D, Command D. Great. So I have my hi-hats. Great, so I play them. You hear that? They disappeared. I didn't want them to go. So I need to hit loop, and now there. Sorry, launch the master track. There we go. So a bit of key, so I'm going to shift the key. I want it lower. I want all of these. I want all of these playing down here on the C, because right now they sound funny. It sounds like it has an effect, and I want that. So what do? I select all of them and I shift them down the key roll. Great. Another way to shift around your piano roll space, let's say if I didn't have these and I was using my keyboard to draw them, you see there's a limit. It only, like the L will be there, but you have like an infinite key roll here. It's like so many other keys, but you're seeing like the end is L. You only have so many letters, right? Can't go beyond L. So what do I do to go higher? I hit X, and now I'm like all the way up there. It's a lot higher. If I hit Z, I'm lower. I want to go much lower. I hit Z and I'm lower, and I hit Z again and I'm lower. I hit Z again and I'm lower. If I want to go up, I'm higher, higher, higher. Same with all the other different samples. Let's try the drum. So we're on the drum right now. To hear the drum, that channel, and now I can hear where it is right now. If I wanted it to go higher, I hit X, and even higher I hit X again, and even higher I hit X again, and even higher I hit X again. You can go all the way up. And if I want it lower, I hit Z, lower, low. It's just going like lower and lower, lower, lower. This probably will sound more distinct when you're using an actual sound and not like a, oh, I mean a kick is an actual sound, but like something melodic like piano or flute thing. Cool. So far we have our kick, we have a hi-hat, we have a snare, and now I'm going to make a simple melody. Great. What instrument am I going to pick? I'm going to pick a piano. And what piano? Let's say piano. Piano, piano. My favorite piano to use is the E piano C major 7.12. Boom. I like that. Great. So now we have a piano and we want to draw some tunes in there. We want to draw some keys in there, some chords. Yes. So because my whole track at the moment is, first of all, it's in 4/4 and with melodies I like to play around a bit and to experiment with different like sounds. So I'm going to extend this particular length of the clip to say 8 bars. Okay, now I have more space to like draw stuff in here. I could either take the pencil tool and like just draw like crazy great. I kind of like that random. This is super random. We can choose to loop it right there. That's like 2 bars. Great. Again, to loop this space, these sounds, there's this button called loop, and when it's highlighted it turns yellow. It's off, it's gray, it's deactivated. So if you want to loop a specific session or you know, number of beats, so in the clip view you have a button and it's called loop. So when it's highlighted it's yellow, and you can see this bar on top of your particular sample or whatever you've played. It becomes highlighted as well, the color of the track. So my track here was blue. It's blue. The piano track is blue, so this will be looping this particular space over here. So if I want to loop just one bar, I hit the length of the loop and I change it to 1, and now only the first bar will be looping in this project. Remember to get out first and then hit number 1. If I want to loop the second part as well, so music theory helps ya, because you need to find a sound that complements all these if you want to add more notes. So I want to listen to just my piano without hearing all of these other things, the kicks, the hi-hats, the snares. It's kind of distracting. So what do? I solo this track. I just want to hear you piano, just you. I just want to focus on you, focus on the melody, focus on it. Just want to do my things. So to solo a track, there's this letter S in a box right above your recording, arming your recording for the track. Well, right on top of it, there's a letter S. Hit that S, it turns blue. Now, if I press space, I only hear my piano. Great. So if I want to hear the rest of the music again, I just want to hear the piano. I want to hear the snare, make sure. Okay. I want to hear my hi-hats. Mayo way. Oh, we hadn't done hi-hats yet. Great. So let's go back to the piano. All right. So my piano roll, double click it so that you can see it on the piano roll. Yeah. Okay. Here, see the piano on the piano roll. Anyways, so we're right here, and I feel like I want to add a few more notes. Dun, 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 dun. Great, I like that. So I could add a bim, 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 bim. All right, so let's take our pencil plate. Great. These beats are just way too short. They're like bah, bah, bah. So how do you extend it? You see, when you hover over the little square and the pencil tool is still there, but when you hover towards the end, it changes into a different icon. This icon is used to drag the tune to make it longer. Or hover at the end, drag it in, make it shorter. So let's hover over. Hey, come on, man, come on, man. Ah, yeah, there we go. I like the longer one. Great. We have our piano melody. Remember to save your work. Control S. Great. Now let's make a quick bass. Bass. Let's hit bass. What is a bass? Again, if you want to make your work easier, listen to the whole track as you're selecting your samples. So that is surely infected. Let's see if there's one that I like. We can also find more bass sounds in the sounds category, the sounds library. There's a huge folder of bass here. Ooh, it's quite noisy, sorry. B bass, B bass, B bass, B bass, or bass, not an acid bass, bass, where is that bass? Bass? No. Where's that bass? Okay, so now that we have all of these tracks in the session view and they're all keyed 1 2 3 4 5, I can use these to trigger any section I want when I am recording in the arrangement view. So this is where I hit the arrangement record button. Anything I see, or rather anything that I play on this side will be recorded on this arrangement view side. So let's just make sure we start with the clip that we want to start with, right? And also I prefer to have the metronome on whenever I'm recording, so switch it back on and let's do the things. All right, so instead of hitting this session view, I hit the arrangement view recording. You can stay in the session view so that you can see what clips are you're loading, but trust that it's going to record on the other side. So 1 2 3 go. 1 2 3 4 and can even go back to 3 if we want. 5 6 7 8. And I think you can even kill like some parts if you want by highlighting and selecting. So many things you can do. And then we go to number 4. And then number 5. And stop. To stop, you hit pause. Let's check if it recorded. Yeah. So when you had this view open earlier, there was nothing here, but now you've got like a bunch of like tiny like squares, lines, things, colors, things going on here. You have all the elements that were in the session view out here in the arrangement view. You have your kicks, your hi-hats, your snares, your piano, your bass. And now if you hover above this section under the numbers, you should see like a volume like icon. If you hit the icon, stop everything, stop. Ah, that sounds horrible. What's going on? That's because I was not starting on the first bar. Great. So you can hear. Can you hear anything changing? No. What's going on? I can see my cursor moving across, meaning I should be hearing what's playing here. Why can't I hear what's playing here? This is why. You have a little square with like a play button and like 3 lines in there. This thing's called a back to arrangement button. So in this state, when you highlight it, or deselect it rather, this arrangement view comes to life. But before you do that, you won't be able to hear anything and everything will be grayed out. So now, if I come back out here where I was hovering my volume button, whatever is playing here should be whatever is here right now, and not whatever is on there. You see, now you're getting your different levels and your different layers and stuff. So your arrangement view is ready for you to mess around with it. If you're not happy with the way that sounded, you can select any piece and delete it. Just click in the beginning and press spacebar. If you don't like that bass, I think this is the bass here. Click delete. If you want to shift this whole like bass control, just select all of them, move them this way. It doesn't sound different. If you want to shorten something, you can like scroll it, do this, do that. You can chop, screw, just like do things until you're happy here. So this is where all the fun and like you know, changing and you evolving your piece of music, this is where it happens. And this is like usually the space where you actually do create the music. The session view is more for like performances and stuff and layering things so that you can launch them whenever you want. So I believe no, we're not done yet. So we've finished recording this piece of music and we want it to be in an MP3 so we can send it out to like and you want to send it to your favorite producer and your favorite artist. So you export, you hit file, export audio or video. However, 1 second, make sure you have everything in this session like highlighted, everything that you want to export into a full session. So you hover over this loop start, punch in and out point, bar. It's up here right under the numbers. You extend it out and then file, export. You have different parameters. I'm just going to leave them as is. That's the start of the track to the end of the track. Track should end at around 58 bars. Render as a loop. Nope, I don't want to render it as a loop. It's long enough. If it was a short piece, it would be rendered as a loop, and then you would change those parameters accordingly. I want a WAV because it's high quality, but I also want an MP3. So you have the options to export both. You can actually also upload your audio directly to SoundCloud, which is what I just found out. And then I feel like everything is good to go. There's no video, so it's off, and we can export this. We need to call it test track or demo track, whatever you want to call it. I'll still throw it on the desktop just for this session. And now it's rendering. Congratulations! So you have your first, hopefully your first track, if you haven't like crushed the software because of the way I've been taking you up, down, XYZ. But I am still figuring out the software, and I am excited for what I will be able to create, because I've already seen such a huge you know, evolution with the music that I am making now, the music that I have been creating in the last couple of months. And I would like to encourage you, just go onto the website, download the software, try it out, export stuff. Don't be restricted to the way things ought to be. Just keep experimenting with it. I mean, it's important to follow, like, to have that as a guide as to how to use the software, but don't use it as like a strict, like, this is how I must create, this is how I must export. This is like, no, like, it's a creative software, and you're a creative person, and you should be allowed to like mess around with it as much as you want. There's obviously certain rules when it comes to, you know, like playing in key, making sure everything is like in key and in time, according to the time that you want. So yeah, just go out, learn the rules and break them. Okay. Learn the rules, and then you can like adapt them to your own style, to your own unique style. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and thank you so much for inviting me to you know, spend some time with you. I am available for a short Q&A section. Be kind, please, and I don't know too much, so like, be kind. Thanks. All right.